hey, Kody, that's awkward. She used to be married to my brother. Now you want to marry her and bring her into this polygamous family.
Yeah, I did. We talked about it, but like I was not supposed to have those thoughts or feelings.
This episode truly felt like the emancipation of Meri. In this season, I love the fact that Meri is unleashed and she's able to speak up her mind. I also appreciate that we finally get to speak about, oh, Meri was very angry, or she was the problem, why she used to create a lot of problems in the family. So the fact that she's now speaking up and saying, actually, my problem is Janelle married my husband. One, Janelle was married to my brother. Two, and the fact that she described my husband in a certain way in regards to how she wanted her children to look. Oh my God, I'm here for it. And then to have Christine agreeing with Meri doesn't make sense to me, given how they've always been on opposite ends. I have a feeling there was a falling out between Janelle and Christine that we haven't heard about, because it's interesting to see when they talk about the relationships, Janelle is constantly siding with Kody, which leads me to believe that she might want Kody back, but she doesn't want to do it because of obviously how bad a look it would be for her, given everything that's transpired up to this point, and she knows she won't be the favorite wife going in. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by to go, Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives Tell All Part 3. Anyway, so it's a continuation of the show. We have them all sitting down and having a conversation with Suki. As you know, my pictures won't align with anything unless it's something special that I feel needs to sort of be discussed. And so there's a continuation with Christine and David saying they felt very uncomfortable with some of the things that Kody said during his apology tour with them because of the fact that he said, I did love you. And you have David saying that was inappropriate because if Christine is no longer his wife, she is now my wife, so he has no right to stand up there and tell my wife that he did love her, because the time and the opportunity for him to do that has since passed. So him saying that was inappropriate. For Robin to have the audacity to say, well, if he didn't say it there, where was he expected to say it? It was appropriate for him to say it. Because David had said, where was Robin? It should have been two couples sat down and he should have said whatever he said in front of his wife's face and my face. I have a feeling that he knew that he couldn't say that and he was trying to antagonize David, and this is why he did that, because even when they were watching him say I did love you to Christine, you could tell Robin wasn't happy about it. So the idea that she's suddenly saying, oh, it was appropriate for him to say it because it's something that he felt in his heart he needed to say, and also it was appropriate for him to say it then because David was there, because if he didn't say it, where else was he supposed to say it? And it's like, maybe tell you his wife, maybe tell his kids off camera. He didn't need to say that to Christine in front of her husband on camera. That wasn't necessary. That was him trying to play mind games and see if he still had power over Christine and try and minimize Christine's relationship with David. As far as I'm concerned, I feel that's what he did that for. You then have the apology tour between Kody and Janelle, and Kody is being asked, why did you feel the need to sort of apologize to Janelle first? He said he did that because obviously with Janelle, he felt most safe with her, and he felt that she wouldn't sort of retaliate, and he had given her everything he owed her, it seems, and so he knew that she would be open to his apology. This is what I think. I know when Janelle's son passed away, there were people saying that Kody wanted a share of the son's estate, and Janelle was not willing to give it, or Janelle's children were saying no. And I think Kody and Robin must have given Janelle what they owed her in hopes that if they do that, then she would share her son's estate. And I think this is why he was trying to be in Janelle's good books, and he even went to the apology. I think he knew Janelle was gullible as well, and she would eat up everything he was willing to dish for her. And so that apology didn't make sense. We got to see it play out with him saying, I should have protected Janelle, I should have protected our sacred relationship. This is what I think. I think Kody throughout the years has always had women that he's attracted to, that he brings into the family, saying that, oh, we're a polygamous family, because it seems how he came into be in a relationship with Janelle is the same way he came into being in a relationship with what's her name, with Robin. Christine, I think it was for prestige, but it seems Janelle and Robin, he really loved them. Whether he had a crush on them, whatever happened, he brought them into the family. And I think this is why he's always been very protective. I didn't like that. And I'm happy that he was called out because he made it seem like Meri was the villain in his and Janelle's story. And she is the reason why they had all these issues. And he apologized for the early years and how things had gone left in the early years, in the sense that they were all very young and they were struggling to sort of make ends meet and sort of become a family. And it's like, if Kody is still bitter with Meri for being catfished, imagine how he would have felt if tables were turned and Meri had suddenly been catfished by his brother, because that's more or less, or his brother's partner or something like that, because that's more or less what's happened here. The idea that he is entitled to feel jealousy, he is entitled to feel like his feelings are hurt, and Meri shouldn't have an opinion about this. I didn't get it. And Meri was asked, she said, we were very young when we all entered or decided to be a polygamous family. She spoke about the fact that Janelle was married to her brother, and apparently after they divorced with her brother, Janelle was still close to her parents, and this is how she came to meet Kody. And so they were in-laws, and this is why there was a lot of sort of issues at the start of the marriage. And it's understandable that someone who's been sleeping with your brother and someone who he's been married to is now sharing the same husband with you. Make it make sense, irregardless of religion, of whatever. I do not agree with it. I totally agree with Meri that this could have been one of the major reasons why Janelle was saying, she was very nitpicky about ABC. Yes, she was nitpicky because you were married to her brother one. You then came in and gave her husband children that she was unable to do so. And so the idea that you're shocked that this woman that used to be your sister-in-law is aggrieved by everything that took place doesn't make sense to me, or doesn't make sense to anyone with common sense, because at the end of the day, everyone would be in an uproar. If you guys had an issue with Robin coming into the family, why was Meri not allowed to have an issue with Janelle coming into the family, someone that she knew was part of a family or was married to her brother? Make that make sense? I feel like it doesn't make sense. You had Suki trying to do the math that, how did this work out? How long did you know about this relationship before they got married? How long was she married to your brother? It's still not a good look. It's not a good look. Let us be for real. It really is not a good look. Kody spoke about Meri being high maintenance. And it's like, what does he mean? Because he said, the problem with the wives was one of them was very high maintenance. Janelle wasn't high maintenance. Janelle came in second and was trying to appease you and was trying to cater to you so that you could prioritize her over the woman that you had already started to build a family with or a future with. So for you to say Janelle wasn't, there was no way Janelle was going to come in and be more high maintenance than Meri. No, Janelle had to win favor from you. And in winning favor from you, she decided to make herself, the lesser of the two. It's not that she's non-confrontational. I would like to believe that she is confrontational, but she's able to sort of regulate herself better, whereas Meri, it seemed for a very long time, struggled to regulate herself in this relationship because she couldn't find her space. You even heard her say that I struggled with polygamy because I felt like I wasn't doing polygamy right. I felt like I wasn't doing womanhood right. I wasn't being a mother, the right way. I wasn't being a wife the right way. Because why else was she the one who was the first wife but struggled to have children? Why was she, as the first wife, struggled to have more children after she had the one child? I get it and I understand it. I really do. For Robin to say, well, yes, we were always made to go and tell Meri as soon as we found out we were pregnant before anybody else so that we give her time to sort of digest it. How would you feel if you were in her shoes? Your husband marries somebody else, and as Meri said, he continues to have children with other people when you can't have children. How would you feel about that? I hate the way Robin sort of threw the fact that she tried to be a surrogate for Meri in Meri's face. That I found very distasteful. I really found it distasteful. Meri spoke about how, Kody and Janelle wanted to get married on her birthday, and Kody's mom had to sort of intervene and say that's not right. And it's like, that was petty. How can we say Meri was the issue when you were doing petty and sly things like this, making comments about how you wanted your sons to have Kody's build, deciding to get married on the woman that's married to your husband's birthday? That's you trying to make a statement. There's no two ways about it. That's you trying to make a statement and make this woman feel less than. There was a conversation about polygamy and David's opinion on polygamy. I didn't like the way Janelle and Kody are very dismissive towards David, because you don't know this man, you don't know what his experience, you only know from what he's telling you. If he is telling you that he had a loved one live through polygamy and he didn't like what his loved one went through, you cannot minimize his experience. You can't say he took offense to it when you also agree with some of the things that you can't say you took offense with it when you also agree with some of the things that he said, because he said to him being in polygamy is people having an ego and wanting to have more wives, wanting to have more attention from these women, wanting these women to sort of go head to head because they are trying to sort of appease you or please you. So the idea that they agree that Kody's got an ego and yet they take issue with how David describes polygamy. Kody was very demeaning. He was very patronizing. The way he said, "Oh, David, he talks about polygamy from an outside experience, from things that he's seen from his friends, his builder friends." And it's like, builder friends or not, that man is loaded. He has way more accomplishments as compared to you, whose only accomplishment is having multiple wives and multiple children that don't like you and can't stand your guts. So I didn't like that. The fact that Janelle sort of agreed along that line, I did not like it as well. Meri was indifferent. She was Switzerland. She didn't comment on that. She sort of agreed that Kody had an ego. For Robin and company to sort of say, "Oh no, he doesn't have an ego." Okay. They spoke about Meri's apology from Kody and how Meri actually held Kody's feet to the fire, and she told him that he wouldn't walk all over her. For Janelle to sort of try and side with Kody doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why Janelle is suddenly siding with Kody and is suddenly in agreement in his opinions, which makes me believe that they must have had a conversation prior to coming to the reunion and sort of discussed what they were going to say and how they were going to say it, because it really left a bad taste in my mouth. That how can you say Kody has the right to sort of speak up on Meri's friends? I don't get it. I totally agree with Christine that Kody has no right on Meri's life, Meri's opinion, Meri's friends, and anything Meri does. And Meri is right to sort of speak up for herself because it was about goddamn time. And it's like, oh my God, what has happened? How is it Christine is suddenly seeing things the same way as Meri, whereas people like Janelle are not? What is it? Is Janelle upset at the idea that Meri has called her out on the fact that she used to be married to her brother? I don't get it. I'm happy that Meri finally got to say her piece and I finally got to speak up for herself. The fact that you had Robin say, "I don't care what these women think," well, they don't care what you think either because they've taken their money. Let's see how long you last in my cottage without Meri and Janelle sort of financing your lifestyle. I don't get it. It was a great episode. I'm sorry my review's all over the place. I'm not feeling great. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode part 2. Bye guys.